And sometimes the girls say that us guys can't cook. Do you want to be able to make something like this easy and fast? With that, watch this video. Welcome to the kitchen. So it was pointed out to me by Ms. Boney that guys have a lousy reputation for being able to cook. This is not the case. There is so many great recipes and great things like the Instapot.
That's not the Instapot. It's the Crock-Pot Express. Welcome everybody to Ms. Boney's kitchen.
I'll go lay by my bowl. Okay.
I'm behind the camera today because I'm going to let Eric go ahead and put this whole recipe together. And I just wanted to show you how easy it is to use a Crock-Pot Express, especially if you're a guy and you want to impress your other half. This is quick, it's simple, it's easy. Anybody can do it.
I don't want to impress anybody. I'm just kind of hungry right now.
Okay.
So I'm going to do a sirloin roast. And first things first, I'm getting some of this ready. We're going to get this ready to do some searing. So you hit the meat and poultry button, start button. Doesn't really matter about the timer because that's going to be irrelevant. I am going to be throwing in some butter.
About a tablespoon or two.
Yeah, that's what she said. A little squirt of some oil of your flavor. I'm going with a
couple teaspoons.
A couple teaspoons of
now you
olive
can
oil.
use instead of the olive oil, you can use the canola oil.
A lot of good stuff is coming out lately on the like canola oil. Now I have previously put together a rub. Obviously, you do what you need to do for, say, your own personal taste.
Can I let them know what's in there?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have some garlic powder, some onion powder. We have some salt, pepper, rosemary, thyme, and a bit of paprika. And you're going to do exactly what Eric's doing, which is to put it all over the meat to get your spices on there. Now, as far as how much that you want to go ahead and use, I will say use it to taste. Whatever it is that you like. Now, in our case, I kind of like a little bit more of the garlic powder and onion powder, so I made sure that Eric put that in there. And then, of course, you know, his favorite as well. He puts that on there in the mixture as well. So the first step that you're going to do after getting all of this on there is you're going to put it in the pot and you're going to brown it on each side. Okay, once you get that browned, then what you're going to do is remove it out of the Crock-Pot Express, and then we're going to go ahead and load up the rest of our ingredients, which will consist of some beef broth, some red wine. You'll need about a cup of that each. And then you're going to pick your potatoes, your carrots, and your onions. And then if you want some chopped garlic, you're going to put that in there as well. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get this all browned up. Okay, so now we've got the roast all nice and seared. And this is what it's going to look like when it's done. Now make sure that you keep your Crock-Pot Express on still heated, because the leftover butter and oil that you used, you're going to use to caramelize your onions and your carrots next. So that's going to go into your pot, and you're going to want to get those caramelized for about 30 seconds or so. Now going back to the meat, you're going to cook that on each side for 3 to 4 minutes before it's going to come out of the pot and put that aside. So Eric's putting everything in there. He's going to give that a really good stir. Get everything caramelized on there. And then the last thing you're going to do is add your potatoes. So that takes care of all of your vegetables. Okay. Now, after everything's in there, you want to go ahead and slowly add your cup of beef broth in there. And as you're adding that, you want to just kind of get everything stirred around there so that everything gets coated really well. can see I'm gonna need a bigger Crock-Pot Express if you cook. Are you hungry?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. Alright, so we got our vegetables taken care of. That's in the Crock-Pot Express. Eric's going to go ahead and put the meat in there. And then the last thing that we're going to do is add the cup of red wine. Okay, that's going to just, not for drinking.
It's supposed to go in here?
It's supposed to go in the pot.
Now, this is a good question for someone that's cooked more than me. I always avoid pouring it over the meat because I'm afraid I'm going to lose some of the seasoning.
Yes, you want to avoid that, and that's a good point to bring up. I mean, you want to make sure that you don't, you know, even though most of the seasoning is probably sauteed or seared on there, you still kind of want to try to avoid that so that you don't wash all that off.
This works awesome, by the way, for doing that sear.
Yes, it's perfect. Okay, so you'll notice that we turned it off right now because we're done. We're going to go ahead and put the lid on there and make sure that everything gets lined up accordingly. Now you see that he just put that in the lock position and that he turned that to no steam. And that's where you want to be for your first round of settings. Now the second thing you want to do is you're going to want to do this a pressure cook or manual on high set for 55 minutes. So there should be a button there that will tell you to go ahead and just now power up. There you go. Now you're going to turn that on for 55 minutes. Okay, and then you're going to hit the start button. It's going to go ahead and heat it up. It's going to build up that pressure, and then it will be done, and dinner will be served in 55 minutes. Okay, and this is what it will look like when everything is all said and done. So that is a simple, easy roast recipe for your Crock-Pot Express that anybody can do.
Even a guy.
Yes. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you will give this recipe a try. And until then, everybody have a good day. This is Miss Bomi saying good night, good eats, wherever you are.
And Ebomi.